So anyways, not to get into like, this is what the show is about, because listen, Marvel still can mess this up for me. It could just end and I'm like, oh man, I had so much hope for the show and it just was whatever. Dear goodness gracious, we gotta do an update. Hello, darlings, and welcome to Take Care, Darling. It's me, Care Darling, and today we are talking about the finale for She-Hulk. I just want to say I did an episode on the first episode of She-Hulk, and let me tell you, I loved it. I was so excited. Now I'm here like Tyra Banks going, we were all rooting for you. Before we get into it, I do want to say there will be spoilers, so this is your moment to duck out. Alright, so when I first watched She-Hulk in the first episode, I was so excited because I love lawyer shows. What I thought was going to happen was they were going to do something close to Ally McBeal, where you're following a certain plot line, but you are hit with a new court trial and characters to keep it interesting. You might be thinking,
Carolyn, did you not read the She-Hulk comic books?
No, but tell me this. Did you go watch Harry Potter before reading all of the books? Oh, you did? Moving on. Another law show that I enjoyed that I thought She-Hulk might be similar to was Drop Dead Diva, in the sense that it's supernatural and they're trying to be realistic in an unrealistic situation. But no, there's multiple plots going on to the point that it got me confused. One plotline is her figuring out how to balance being Jennifer Walters and She-Hulk. Another is dealing with her arch nemesis, Titania, which I thought was going to be interesting because she's more superficial. So it's not about, taking over the world or wanting global power, but just getting a lot of attention from the world, and She-Hulk was stealing it. They kept showing her caring about her friendships and her family, so I was wondering, would there be a rift from her being sucked into loving She-Hulk so much that she doesn't nourish any of those relationships? There's also The Abomination, which has Tim Roth playing the character. Oh, and I love this actor. Let's not forget that She-Hulk is trying to figure out her dating situation. We only get Daredevil for less than 2 episodes. Oh wait, there's even that whole thing about that guy Josh who takes her blood. We're not going to see her run into him again? See what I mean? There's a lot of personal plot lines that I felt needed attention, but it was so abrupt and ended so that we could never just get into the next personal plot line. I'm going to repeat myself again. It's best to have 1 to 3 personal plot lines and not necessarily all on one character, meaning She-Hulk could have had 2 personal plot lines going on and then her friend has a plot line going on the side. For example, Jennifer Walters could be dealing with the balance between being a lawyer versus a superhero and dealing with Titania through the series. Then another plot line is her friend wanting to have it all, to date and help her with her cases, but feeling she's losing her friend and personal life because she has to pick up the slack in the office. When watching each episode, there was no structure. I will say though, my favorite episode is This Not Real Magic? They displayed an issue, why they needed to go to court, and it was consistent with her own personal story. But then we have episode 6, Just Jen. It felt like a filler episode. It didn't answer anything. It was just ridiculous. The only thing they needed from that episode was to introduce Josh, who is the guy that ends up stealing her blood. So it's time for the finale, and we're all excited to see where this was going. Instead, they chose for She-Hulk to literally smash the fourth wall and go to Kevin. Nah, not that Kevin, this Kevin. I was thinking to myself, what in the Blazing Saddles is going on here? Now, when Blazing Saddles did it, it was funny, and I couldn't get enough of it. Yet, when She-Hulk did it, they had episodes that were setting up for nothing.
So you get nothing. You lose.
Okay, so for example, Josh stole her blood, which later goes to that douche guy, only for her to ask Kevin that he doesn't get the Hulk blood. And so I'm sitting here wondering, well, what was the point of Josh? What is interesting is when she goes into the writer's room, you see who is writing these episodes. And I want to know what the hell was going on in this room. It's almost as if they're in there going, hey, You know what would be interesting? Is if the story has no story. Oh, the twist? There is no twist. And the ending? Wait for it. There is no ending. I had such high hopes for this. This is no hate to the actors in the show because I thought they did a great job with what they were given. Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk is perfection and she's relatable. She has great comedic timing and I want to see more of her work. I also wanted to see Jamila Jamil playing Titania more. Renee Elise Goldsberg, I mean, she came in and work. She just wasn't utilized enough. Some of the good that did come out of the episode is that now my husband and I know who we are dressing up for Halloween as. Anyways, darlings, I would love to know, what did you think of the finale or even the season itself? If you are looking for more magic, I am on Instagram and TikTok, Care Off Book. And yeah, without further ado, take care, darling.